Well, what's up, guys? It's Critical here, and today I just want to give my first impressions on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and the beta and just how it is, how it feels. There's a lot of controversy over the new everything that's out right now. There's a lot of criticism coming at Treyarch and Activision's part about how Black Ops 4 is the laziest Call of Duty and how it's this and it's that. But I just want to give my opinion on how it is and how it feels. So let's go. So first thing I want to talk about is that time to kill. Obviously, it's new. It used every Call of Duty before it was at 150, not 150, at 100, and now we're over here at 150. So that's a 50 health change, and pretty much every gunfight that's life or death. So I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. It's pretty mixed. Sometimes you can melt people to the point where they don't even have a chance to react, and other times it's the other way around. They'll eat 7 or 8 bullets and they just melt you, and you're just you just had a loss of words, just like I am right now. It doesn't really make sense. But personally, I think that it can fit, but I think the weapon balancing needs to be tuned a little bit, because I play on Xbox, so I was unable to play the beta last week, or the early August beta, but I was able to play the August 10th to the August 13th beta. And what I can tell from the early August beta, the August was it 1st to 4th, I think it was, that beta subs ran the game. When you watch Ali, Hollowpoint, all the Call of Duty YouTubers, they were all rocking subs, and subs were just melting everybody. But now, personally getting hands-on experience and hands-on time with the beta, I feel that it's quite the contrary, with the new patches coming out, making assault rifles more powerful. I think that assault rifles, there's a trade-off. Assault rifles most of the time actually can beat a sub. If you're able to hit your shots, assault rifle can basically just wipe out a sub because the AR is stronger. So I feel like that needs to be tuned a little bit. But I feel that there are also ranges that need to be fixed, because, for example, certain recoils need to be fixed, like the auger. Now, the auger doesn't have recoil, and it's a weird gun to use. It's a burst, and it's obviously based after the the ABR. So I feel that gun needs to be a little bit more fine-tuned, along with a lot of the ARs, the ICR melting gun, the KN melting gun. So that needs to be fixed, as well as some SMGs. I feel that they're very underpowered and they need some work done to it. So that's the first thing I feel about guns and the weapon balancing. But everything is subject to change. It's a beta, and hopefully the criticism and my first impressions, along with many other YouTubers, will give some insight to Treyarch and Activision as to what needs to be changed, what needs to be fine-tuned about the game. Next thing I want to get into is probably stim packs. Stim packs are obviously new, because the regular Call of Duty game, you healed on your own, and that's that. But with the new stim pack system, one thing that I realized that stim packs had an effect on was turning on people. And you don't really, on paper, it doesn't seem like, you're gonna turn on people because you need to manually stim yourself. But actually, the way the maps are designed and the way the health and the stim packs intertwine with each other, there are a lot of corners around the map and stuff. So say you're getting shot at, you can turn that corner, because the time to kill is so long. You can turn that corner, pop that stim pack, and essentially turn on the person you're getting shot at by. So I feel like in most traditional Call of Duty games, that wasn't a thing. You can just jump around that corner, hip fire them, and melt them. But now it's different. Those stim packs pretty much instantaneously add 40 to 50 points of effective health right in that moment, to where you get that extra health to kill them. Another thing about subs, hip firing is absolutely atrocious. It is terrible. So I feel that hip firing needs to be a little bit better, because it is really bad. I have never seen a Call of Duty that has worse hip firing than that. So honestly, I feel like actually Advanced Warfare had really bad hip firing, and I don't know. That's one of the big things when it comes to subs, just hip firing around corners and stuff. That needs to be fixed. And also with the stim packs, when you go into your gear, I don't like the fact that you. I wish that you weren't subject to need the stim pack
Enemy tag.
gear thing unlocked in order to have it work. I wish that it would work as it would always earn it. And I'm kind of stuttering and losing track of my words here, but essentially how it works is that in your creative class, out of the 10 slots, you have options. You can have your stim pack, you can have extra gear, stuff like that. And everybody comes standard, obviously, with the stim pack, but you need an actual stim pack in your gear slot to get it every millisecond, basically. And I don't like that. I wish that you would always just keep getting your stim pack, because with that, then you're kind of just stuck without heals for a long time. So I feel like that needs to be fine-tuned. Another thing, flashbangs. I do not like the flashbangs in this game. I feel like they're very powerful to the point that where they last too long, and even if you're able to kind of shoot through the flashbang like in every traditional Call of Duty game, you cannot shoot through the flashbang. It instantly takes you out of your line of sight. It brings you to hipfire, which I've already touched upon is actually terrible. So you're pretty much dead. And I'm not sure exactly how long the flashbang time time is. I'm not sure how long it is, but it feels pretty long when you're getting hit by it, to the point where you're pretty much done. So I feel like that's a big thing. And kill streaks, honestly, they didn't feel too bad. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play a lot, so I wasn't able to experiment with all the kill streaks. But I got the chopper a lot, and you'll see a lot of gameplays that I'll be uploading with the chopper. But the chopper was very powerful. I felt that it was very strong, and it was able to get you a amount of kills in the right map scene, of course. I mean, I don't know what map that is, but the map that has all those the map that's super indoors. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen the clips. I think, yeah, my first gameplay, the gameplay you're watching right now, should be on that map. The chopper and any outdoor kill streak is terrible on that map. So I mean, obviously kill streaks are gonna be bad, but other than that, I feel like kill streaks are alright for the most part. You only had 4 maps right now, as the new map came out on Sunday, so we only have 4 maps right now. And speaking of that 4th map, that map really reminds me of Raid. I don't know why, I just get this weird nostalgic feeling about Raid. And hopefully the rest of the maps don't give you nostalgia in a sense, but they give you the same feeling of the typical 3-lane system. But I feel like with these maps, the 3-lane system was kind of flawed in the sense that these maps, they were obviously 3-lane just like every other Tradecraft has been, but it came to a point where some of the maps, there wasn't enough angles to cut into the mid lane. If you were to push a flank on the right lane, you pretty much had to commit to that lane until you were able to overextend all the way to that mid lane. So one thing I just feel, I wish for certain maps, not all maps of course, certain maps,
Eliminated.
I wish there was more of a way to connect them to mid lane to get a nice flank. But other than that, I feel like the maps were pretty good. Obviously it's a beta, and when you play, when you grind that beta with only 3 or 4 maps, it's gonna get repetitive. So we have that. The specialists, honestly, I feel pretty indifferent about them. A lot of them are reskins from other games, and a lot of them are newest, especially the actual abilities in and of themselves. Because you have your genuine specialist, which takes some charging up to do, and you have these specialist abilities. For example, Ruin, he obviously has gravity spikes, but then he has that subspecialist, which is the grappling hook. So I feel like that's very innovative, and I like that. And I feel that that is a great touch to the game, and that makes it flow well. And overall, I feel that Black Ops 4 can and has the potential to be a great game. And I know, that a couple months down the road when the full game releases, supply drops will be coming out with all these new DLC guns. And I just hope it doesn't ruin the game. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask from Activision. Activision, freaking ass, and they can't do anything without having an insane amount of micro DLC. But personally, I just hope and I pray that Activision and Treyarch are able to get a grip on what they're doing and have an idea about how to please the community, because in the end, anybody who's here for Call of Duty wants to be here at this point. Because it used to be a ritual, the new Call of Duty came out, time to buy it, because all the Call of Duty games are pretty much good. but now the Call of Duties have been,
Hardpoint contested.
safe to say, just a disappointment at best. So
Contesting hardpoint.
I hope that it's better than what we've been with over the past couple
Lost
years.
the hardpoint.
And
That's a
honestly, I like it. All in all, I like the game. I like how it feels, and hopefully they can add some improvements. Something that said hit fire for subs. Weapon balancing needs to be a little bit
Contesting
fine-tuned.
hardpoint.
And I'm not sure if they're gonna add any more guns. Like LMGs, there's only one LMG, two snipers. I do not like that shotguns are secondaries. I wish they would just have a primary class of shotguns, because that just feels weird. And overall, I do like the game, and hopefully you guys who were able to try out the beta enjoyed it too. I hope that the game will on full release will be good, and looking forward to that Blackout beta. You already know. Alright guys, Critical, we out.